Should I do my intro?
I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm feeling One Piece pretty hard right now.
Game of One Piece. See what I did there?
Coming to you live from the Sand Kingdom of Alabasta. It's your boy Jay West here, my co-host Mac East.
What up, nerds? It's me, Mac East, and we're talking, as Jay said, Alabasta, episodes 93 to 111. It was supposed to be 110, but Jay couldn't chill on that cliffhanger.
I really couldn't. I really couldn't.
I tried to set it up to build intrigue, but he just bull rushed through. So fuck it.
It didn't make sense. I didn't expect a cliffhanger. I was like, I didn't even realize that I was on 111. Honestly, I just kind of wrapped up.
And then yeah. So the problem with this arc is the beginning of it really blows ass.
Oh, dude! Thank God you said it. Oh my God, the first 8 episodes did not need to happen.
Well, you know what? I don't hate them, but I wish that they would find a way to kind of, because this kind of happens every arc now. The Straw Hats show up in some fucking town they've never been to, and they split up, cause a bunch of havoc, and all that shit kind of comes back into play later. But I wish there was a way for them to do that pacing wise, and it'd be a little more, because some of it's funny and some of it's cool, but it drags a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know that there are some filler episodes, but a lot of that dialogue seemed like filler.
Yeah, and so I've seen this before, but the first 8 episodes or so, up into the end of Ace, I watched completely drunk, and my notes are like a fucking disaster.
Yeah. One thing I got to say though, in the beginning, I noticed that they brought up Captain Barbosa. I thought that was very interesting that they stick with a lot of the real old school pirate names.
I was just gonna say, yeah, there are a shit ton of pirates named after real pirates. We'll talk about Blackbeard in this episode a little bit, but Blackbeard's actual name is Teach, which actually was Blackbeard's real name.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, he sticks to real pirate name. Well, not always, but yeah, there are a few that he
just makes them all look so goddamn. I just want to meet someone that's not shaped weird in some form.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen. I'm watching. I just before we started, I was watching newer One Piece, and yeah, I mean, the animation is a lot more crisp, but the designs are still bizarre.
I mean, I get it. It's like his, aesthetic or whatever, but maybe it's because he can't draw a perfect person or something. But it just fucks me up because I'm looking at everyone like they're either too thin or gangly or fucking weird and round.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed this. There are some super tall people for no reason.
Dude,
not giants. Tall. Just like Smoker and Crocodile, they're like
fuck Smoker, man. I hate him.
Extremely tall.
Yeah, Crocodile is insanely large. Ridiculous. Like his shoulder width is ridiculous.
So yeah, I guess let's just get right into it. I mean, we could I don't know, kind of gloss over the first few episodes.
No, it's a waste.
We could talk about the dance powder, I guess.
All right. Well, I was actually thinking about for this intro, saying, Mac East, the only guy to ingest sand powder besides Luffy or something like that. But I was like, nah, I hate that stuff. It's a weird concept.
So it's okay. It's interesting from this standpoint. It is a important item in this country. Well, it seems like an important item in this country. It's illegal. But yeah, a country that is desert country and could use rain and has these long droughts, it makes sense that this would play a role. And yeah, so Luffy eats some fucking weird guy's dance powder in the beginning when they all separate. And he's like, this is poison. He just fucking burns it because he's an idiot.
I didn't like this sequence because the guy finds out he's a criminal. He's like, that's my dream. And then Luffy's like, that was your dream? Like he's always going on about people's fucking dreams.
Yeah, but it's funny because you see that for a second, but Luffy also still doesn't give a fuck about this dude. Like,
Yeah. Oh nah. He don't give a fuck. He beats his dude's ass. But it's funny because he's like, "So you're a criminal," and he's like, "And now you die."
yeah. What's great too is like Luffy's like, I'm not gonna snitch on you, and he gets the food, and the guy pays him off with food, and Luffy's like, I couldn't snitch on you even if I wanted to, because I'm a wanted pirate, and
Yeah,
he
exactly.
just like shits on that dude. Yeah, so there's that. Some other things that get set up. We meet Ace. He ends up hanging out with the Straw Hats.
Ace is cool as hell, man.
Yeah, he's looking for Blackbeard. That's all we really know about that, right?
Mm-hmm. That's weird. Ace has a really cool. I've noticed that a lot of the more powerful pirates don't have large ships.
Yeah, well, as we'll find out, Ace, because Ace works for Whitebeard. He's part of Whitebeard's fleet. So yeah, I guess he doesn't really. Well, there's another. Well, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's a reason why he's rolling so small.
So it's cool.
What do you think of Ace's design? Like, did you notice his tattoos?
Yeah, on his back.
Yeah,
and on his arm where he has the S crossed out or whatever.
Yeah, somebody like tried to tattoo the word Ace on his arm, and they like fucking spelled it with an S and had to like cross out the S. That shit's mad funny.
I thought he was cool. I like his hat. Like he's pretty cool looking overall. I was completely thrown off when it was like, yeah, Luffy's my brother. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that was revealed at this point.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and like I've heard people bitch that like it feels like a too much of a surprise or something, but Luffy's not the kind of guy to like talk about the past.
Family, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean it makes sense that Luffy wouldn't tell them he had a brother.
I like that he didn't, honestly.
You like what?
I like that he didn't, because I mean, yeah, it's a huge shock or whatever, but like you said, Luffy isn't that type to just go on about stuff that doesn't concern whatever he's doing.
Yeah, he's always looking forward, man. He never is worrying about the past at all. He doesn't
care. Like, oh, you have a brother? And he's like, yeah, I got a brother. Like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and their relationship's pretty cool from what we see of it. So before we get back to Ace, the other thing that gets set up in the first like 8 episodes, we meet the rebellion with Koza. Because Chopper falls asleep in the back of a fucking van and ends up with the rebellion. So we meet them. I guess that's it for like the quick setup stuff.
I mean, we get to see how strong Ace is. And,
yeah, so let's get right back into Ace, because then this is pretty much what happens until the story starts really picking up. Yeah, so Ace and Smoker meet up, and you didn't like this, right?
No, it was so stupid. Well, one, I don't like Smoker. Well, we'll get into more of that later. I fucking hate this character so goddamn much.
I don't hate Smoker. To me, he's interesting. Like, the more you meet Marines, the more you realize Smoker is kind of interesting compared to the rest of them.
I just don't like his mentality. It's so one track.
Well, that's the problem with all the Marines. They're all fucking. They only see black and white, and they don't even see black and white well because they think they're the good guys. So this fight is kind of weird because we talked about this when we were chilling.
Yeah.
Fire and smoke cancel each other out, which is like
nonsense.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's science. I'm not sure if a smoke person would lose to a fire person or vice versa.
I don't know, Scorpion versus smoke. Let's find out. No, but I mean, smoke comes from fire. I get it, but like, okay. At this point, though, it's basically like the smoke is taking on a physical form of like a solid almost to combat these flames. It's just the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Honestly, I feel like Smoker would actually have the advantage just because I feel like fire needs oxygen. Right. And I feel like Smoker can kind of cut oxygen off to people. I don't know.
the whole thing honestly just confused me, and I just didn't like it's just a weird battle, smoke and fire.
Smoker's powers kind of create a lot of bizarre matchups. Yeah, he kind of his power is fucking weird.
Yeah, I just don't like it. It just whatever. Anyway, so continue.
Yeah, so some more stuff we know about Ace. He wants Whitebeard to be king of the pirates.
So weird. Like the first time we hear, I like the tattoo, like Whitebeard's tattoo mark or whatever it is.
Yeah, his Jolly Roger's dope as shit.
That dope ass mustache.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure why he's called Whitebeard, but yeah. We see him fight the Billions with Luffy. That shit's cool. There's nothing really crazy to talk about. Oh, they fucking arm wrestle. I wrote that down.
Yeah, that shit was whack. I wasn't really interested in that part.
And then the one big piece of information, I guess, is that he's chasing Blackbeard, and Blackbeard killed one of Whitebeard's crew members.
Yes.
Which is kind of why Ace is on this quest to find Blackbeard, because you just don't kill your fellow crewmates.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
And that's kind of it. Oh, and then I guess we could talk about this because do you care about that bounty hunter with Ace?
No.
Yeah, because that was the problem. So I wanted to skip that episode with the bounty hunter. The problem was Ace actually leaves at the end of that episode, so the entire thing is filler, except for like the last 2 minutes. So I was like, I wasn't gonna just tell you to watch the last 2 minutes because it's confusing enough as it is.
I mean, I watched it anyway because I was a little fucked up. So I mean,
yeah, dude. I'm looking at my notes right now. I wrote Ricey the Rice Man on top, and I don't know who that is. Who the fuck is that?
Man, I don't fucking know. That doesn't make any sense at all. Rice is a rice man.
I was fucked up. I don't. Yeah. So, okay. So before Ace leaves, he gives Luffy a piece of paper. Luffy immediately almost loses it, and he tells Luffy it's super important, and Nami sews it into his hat.
I like that. He's like, "What? You don't want it?" And Luffy's like, "Yeah, I'll take it." Like,
and he's like, "I can't lose this," and it immediately blows out of his fucking hands. Yeah. So this piece of paper, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's very important.
I mean, it's something about he said, "Oh, that when you use this or something," he's like, "We'll reunite or some shit," right?
It sets up one of the best moments on the show, so I'll leave it at that. Just know,
Okay.
It looks like a plain piece of paper, but it's pretty cool. Yeah. So so then we can get through the kung fu dugongs. That shit happened. That was a thing.
Ugh.
Yo, but all right. So and then they meet Eyelash, right? The fucking camel. And so I want to talk about the dugongs and Eyelash just for a quick second, just because Chopper dubbing these dudes is like one of my favorite running jokes on the show. Is like because Chopper can talk to animals, and then he kind of like just dubs them, and it's fucking hilarious. I never get tired of watching him do that shit.
Yeah, they forgot what was happening, but they were like super pissed.
Eyelash only lets women ride him because he's like a perverted camel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. So that shit's funny, I guess. And then then we could get into like the real shit. It starts
with a lot of nonsense in between. Like honestly, the last I would say 5 episodes of what we watched. You know, like 105 to 110 or 111 or whatever. That was really all I needed.
Yeah,
Alabasta fucking sucks.
No, it's
sad. It's just endless walking and fucking Luffy going crazy. And
this next bunch mostly takes place in a city.
Yeah, so, I've noticed that. Like the setting is drastically changed.
So and it picks up. Like I mean, what I do like about this before we there's like one specific kind of block that's like kind of one big scene I want to talk about, but just set up a little bit more of Crocodile's. Well, we could talk about Crocodile's plot in this, I guess. So Crocodile meets up with his fucking numbered agents. He tells them he's like about to let the plan loose. I think it's called like Utopia, Project Utopia or some
Yeah,
shit.
Project Utopia. It's weird because he tells everybody, but we still don't know what's happening. Like they don't really tell us yet.
Yeah, he gives them all a piece of paper. None of them know what each other are doing.
And then they burn it.
Yeah, and he's like, do that and get the fuck out of here. So they all leave, Mr. 2, Mr. 4, and 5. And
Mr. 3 shows back up, actually.
in that scene? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. So we skipped the Spider Cafe. Whatever. They meet in the Spider Cafe first, all the villains. What'd you think of
They
that?
all kind of fight, spar, so we can kind of gauge where they are. Nothing
You know
really
what?
that important.
You know what interested me in that scene? Mr. 2 and Mr. 1 fight.
Yes.
And Mr. 2 kind of kicks Mr. 1's ass a little bit.
I think Mr. 2 is, well, the thing we find out later from Mr. 3 scene is that just because you can outrank somebody in combat doesn't mean you'll get a better ranking. It's the things that you're willing to do to complete your mission
Right.
that get you your number and your value.
Now, I will say Mr. 1, I think, will have some cool moments later. But yeah, he went out like a bitch with Mr. 2.
Yeah, he fucked him up. But what about Mr. 4, man? He's a big, fat lord.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him. We haven't seen anything of him yet. And
Yeah, he's just there.
I don't think he's even interesting when we do see.
Also, all these names are a little strange. You know what I mean? Like All Sunday and all that crap, and it's Wednesday.
So, because the women seem to be named after holidays. These must be Japanese holidays. Like, I don't know what All Sunday is, or Golden Weeks, or because there's Miss Christmas.
Quick question: when you watch on Netflix, do you watch it with the closed captioning?
Yeah, I don't want to, but my girlfriend always wants it on, so if I can have it on.
It's very interesting because the script does not match the audio at all.
Yeah, there are a lot of changes in the dub. Nothing like earth-shattering necessarily, but it's like subtle.
Not subtle. I mean, it's different sentences.
That's true.
I mean, it's the same context, but it's not the same at all.
Yeah, we'll talk about him later, probably for like a second. But the giant crab, his name is in Japanese. It's Mr. Pincers, and in the dub, it's Mr. Scissors or something, or Scissors.
Yeah, I like the giant crab. The giant crab is really cool.
I'm not sure why that change was made between the dub and sub, or maybe it's just a translation difference. I don't know. I have no idea.
Possibility.
Because like we haven't really talked about this, but Zoro in the manga it's written Zolo, and in the 4Kids dub, and his name is Zoro in Japanese, but there's like a weird translation thing that happens with the R becoming like a soft L kind of sound, and for some reason the translator decided to put an L instead of an R.
Okay.
So there's like, I guess there's certain translators see things differently. So that could be part of it as well. Like the difference between pincer and scissor, I guess, could be kind of close. But yeah, there's definitely differences. So Mr. 3 shows up. He's like, "Oh, I followed all you guys," and Crocodile fucking shows off some of what he can do and his bad guy.
He hydrates this man.
Yeah. So he can absorb people's moisture with his sand powers. And then he turns him into a mummy and then throws him, and he falls into like a
trap door. He falls, and he's basically alligator food.
It's like
alligator food.
It's like some James Bond bad guy kind of stuff.
Alligators, though, like what the fuck?
Yeah, I want to get to those in a minute. So that happens, and they all go do their thing. We get a flashback, the Koza Vivi flashback, I think.
Of them as kids?
Yeah, this wasn't the most interesting stuff, but I think it's important for going forward. Basically, Koza and Vivi hang out. Koza's kind of a dick and talks mad shit to the king. And the king's like, "Oh, you right." And then Koza and Vivi join a gang together, and like the king is happy that she's hanging out with like
a gang,
like riffraff. Essentially, he's like, she needs to know like what the commoners live like. And then she almost gets kidnapped. Her gang saves her. These fucking grown ass men beat the fuck out of these kids.
Yeah, they do. They were basically because Vivi was their meal ticket.
Yeah. And the kids fight pretty hard, but yeah, she fucking they beat the fuck out of children.
Shit kicked out of her.
It's pretty weird. I guess if you're trying to make some cash, I'd beat the fuck out of the kid. Yeah. So
I do not sponsor this message. I will not beat the fuck out of a kid for money.
So we see that they have like a relationship, Koza and Vivi. And so Koza's leading the rebellion. We see
he gets kind of sliced on his eye though. Like that was. Oh
yeah. That was. I wouldn't do that. I might punch a kid for some money, but I'm not knifing a kid in the eye. So.
Oh, that's great.
I have lines that I would draw. Yeah. So yeah, he has the scar and all that, and I guess it makes him look cool too when he's older, kinda, whatever. Yeah, so that relationship is important. Then we can get back to the evil lair of Crocodile. Oh, actually, hold on. Before we get there, Luffy, they all get to Yuba, which is where Koza's dad is, and that's the town Koza and his dad built, which was supposed to be like an oasis town where like people would like traders would go through, and it's all fucked up. And not much happens here, but we see Luffy, because this old man has a dream of this town. Luffy's like very interested in this dude, and he helps him dig for water. He ends up getting water for Luffy, which is kind of important later.
Yes.
But other than that, that's important too, because I guess it gives Luffy something to want to fight for, because it's right after this that Luffy and Vivi get into a fight.
This was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
I love this, man, because it's not just it's so like different from when he like wanted to help Nami and things like that, because he wasn't just like waiting to be like called on. He tells that bitch he quits, and they're like, yo, what the fuck, Luffy? Like, and he's like, yo, you gotta be willing to put all of our lives on the line. He's like, we gotta stop fucking around trying to like stop people from fighting. He's like, people are gonna die. This is war. Yeah. He's like, and he like ends up punching her in the face.
Yo, he rocked the shit out of her, dude.
Which is like so great. Like Luffy's a maniac, man. And then she starts punching him, and she
beats the fuck out of him, dude. And the whole time he's just straight faced, taking it.
Yeah, because he wanted to ignite that fire. He was like, he knew what he was doing. Like these are the moments where you see intelligence in Luffy.
A few moments.
Yeah, he's very good with dealing with people one-on-one in big moments. That's kind of where he shines, intelligence-wise. Yeah, so he gets her and she's like, yo, will you guys, help me? And he's like, yeah, sure. Like, that's it. I love that scene. It's really fucking cool.
Turning him into a pulp, and he's like, we're friends, aren't we? And then she starts crying.
Yeah,
everyone goes mad hard for friendship.
Yeah, of course. But this is cool because it's like, it's not just, it is friendship, but it's also because she was trying to get them to go to some other town to meet up with the rebels, and it's mad far. And Luffy's like, yo, let's stop fucking around in the desert. We're not going to be able to convince them to stop fighting. He's like, let's just fucking go kick Crocodile's ass.
Yo, he really wants to beat his ass, too. Like, I love that. I love the conviction about how he just wants to beat this man's ass. Like, that's his only goal. Yeah, I have a quote here. He basically says, you want no one to die, you'll never win that way. People die. Yeah. Yeah, so he's trying to tell her what's what. Like, stop fucking around. Let's get to the meat of this problem, and it's Crocodile. Because I guess she realizes that Crocodile's kind of a beast, so she's not trying to. She knows what's gonna happen if they roll up on Crocodile. Like, yeah, he's gonna put in massive amounts of work and whoop everyone's ass. So,
Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Naruto, all things that we love, all manga that were originally published in the legendary magazine Weekly Shonen Jump.
But not every series can run for 300 chapters and have a hit anime. This is David.
This is Jordan.
We're the hosts of Shonen Flop. Each episode we look at manga that ran in Jump that didn't quite make it.
We discuss what it did wrong, what it did right, how the series could have turned itself around, and ultimately, was it a flop or not?
We're on all your favorite podcast apps, and you can find us at shonenflop.com.
Keep on flopping, floppers.
So yeah, basically they get to the town with Crocodile's casino. They all get chased by Marines and Smoker, and they all like run into the casino, and it's basically
Going for the VIP.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then it's like VIP or the Pirates entrance, and of course Luffy takes the Pirates entrance because this was like the most cartoony shit for like. I don't know. It's alright, whatever.
And they fall through a trap door.
Yeah, and then they're in a cage. So this is kind of we learn about a lot of shit here actually. Some world building stuff. We learn that there's sea prism stone, which is what Smoker's weapon is made of, but also these bars. It's how they keep devil fruit users as prisoner, because they can't break through the bars, because if they even go near the bars, they like lose all their energy. And
Yeah, the stone replicates the same energy pattern as the ocean floor.
Yeah, so this stone is pretty important for.
It simulates the ocean, which will fucking. I didn't know it weakens pirates. I know they couldn't swim, but I didn't know it weakens them.
So there's a part in this scene that confuses me. It's seawater that weakens them, and they can't swim. It weakens them, and it makes their devil fruit power not work.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be seawater, and there's a point where the place is filling up, and then Luffy's like, the water's up to my thighs, and he like gets all tired, and it's like that was lake water. That is drinkable water as far as I can tell. I'm not sure.
No, you're 100% right, because I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, so there's, and I guess they can't swim in any kind of water, but they have to be able to go near regular fresh water because they have to drink. And drinking doesn't tire them. So yeah, I think that was, I don't know. Sometimes there's a little inconsistency with the water weakness. So Crocodile has them, and he monologues like a Bond villain. He basically tells them that he framed the dad, Vivi's dad. He convinced the city that he was like using rain powder for the castle and nowhere else. Actually, we see a flashback of that, but basically that's what happens here. And then this shit's fucked up with Mr. 2.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. 2 so somebody kidnaps Cobra is the king's name, and then Mr. 2.
King Cobra.
Yeah. I know, that's some name. So Mr. 2 makes himself look like King Cobra, which we see why Mr. 2 is so important to Baroque Works and this mission. Because he just basically goes and he's like, yo, he goes in the middle of like the big city and he confesses. He's like, yo, I did steal the rain powder. I've been using it. But fuck you guys. I'm the king. I can do what I want. And then when they get pissed off, he basically orders his men to just open fire on the fucking innocent people.
Yeah, that was pretty fucked. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, this is where shit starts getting pretty real, man. It's and plus when you see Crocodile's plan kind of come together, it's like Jesus Christ. Like then, Mr. 1 comes in with a big ass boat full of weapons, which essentially arms the townspeople, and he's essentially created an even bigger rebel army. He's given them like a solid reason to hate the king, and he's armed them. Yeah, he's fucking crazy, man. It's an elaborate plan. I've not seen many like it in anime, I want to say.
That's fair.
It's very like there's a lot of political stuff going on among Luffy and his friends just like being idiots. It's interesting. This is where I started thinking like, damn, One Piece is like I always thought it was kind of kiddish too, but then I'm like, this is some real shit right here. Like it's not like I don't even know if a lot of this shit would be absorbed by children. You know what I mean? It's like.
Well, I mean, if I was a kid, I definitely wouldn't have like thought about the plot as much You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then shit just starts going crazy. Oh, did we miss a part? Yeah. So we missed a part before Vivi gets kidnapped by Crocodile. We meet Pell, who's got like a bird devil fruit,
Yeah,
and he rolls in on the millions, and he just fucking cuts them down with like machine guns.
that shit was awesome.
Yeah,
Like,
this dude looks cool, man. I like his design. And then we see what Miss All Sunday can do, and we finally kind of get a full view of her powers.
I lost my shit.
Me too, man. The first time I saw her powers, I was like, yo, because I've never seen anything like it before.
Yo, she can basically just make. All right, so it's kind of stupid for the name, the flower fruit. Like you can, I wouldn't expect to create limbs like petals.
Yeah, well, it's about like blooming, I guess. It's more like in that thought, but yeah.
But she can just like out of thin air.
Yeah, she can make her body parts just appear. And she like makes her arms come out and like grab this dude, Pell. And
So
she like,
there's like 4 arms, and she like yokes him up, puts him in a full Nelson, and grabs him by the waist. It was insane.
yeah, she just starts like snapping bones and shit. She's fucking no joke.
Yeah, no, she's super fucking powerful. Super
Yeah,
powerful.
she's got one of my favorite powers in the show. It's pretty cool, man.
I don't
really
know how if I mean I don't know if she's gonna stay bad or what her role is, but like she seems like a very formidable foe.
Yeah, she's cool, man. I'm a big. They do talk about her actual name, Nico Robin. Miss All Sunday. I'm glad you like that power because that was like I remember watching this the first time and I lost my shit too when I saw her fucking power because
I was I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? This is insanity. Like,
yeah,
how do you beat that? Like, how do you beat that? Like, I can't imagine. But anyway.
And Oda, who writes the manga, actually said that that's his favorite power and it's the power he would want because he'd be able to draw way more, way faster if he had that type of power.
That's pretty funny. It's the most overpowered shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, it is super overpowered. Yeah. So, then we cut to Luffy doing a fucking Sanji impression in the jail, which is kind of funny. And then, yeah, so they're in the jail. They see the fucking crocodiles outside, the banana gators. And Luffy, this is like a dumb running joke, but I thought it was kind of funny, where Luffy thinks they're bananas with alligators growing out of them.
Yeah.
He's such a fucking idiot, man.
Those bananas have alligators. What?
Yeah, it's just he refuses to listen to Usopp and him fight about it, and he just refuses to see that they're
I feel like
gators.
Usopp is his main boy.
Because it was, even though Usopp's definitely smarter than him in a lot of ways, they're kind of just as goofy, you know? Like the rest of the crew isn't all that goofy like they are.
Usopp always with the fucking. He's like comic relief, man.
Yeah, he kind of is.
So shook. Like he's always so fucking scared.
He has his moments, but yeah, he talks mad shit, and that's pretty much his thing. He talks shit, lies, and is mad shook. So yeah, they're all chilling in the jail. Crocodile leaves Vivi in the most ultimate bad guy shit. He's like, I'm gonna let you choose between saving the Straw Hats and coming and trying to stop the rebellion. And
I thought of Green Goblin immediately.
And it's so like, why? Like, if you want Vivi dead, just kill her, man. Whatever. Anyway, basically he pretty much set it up that she couldn't win either way. Like he wasn't gonna let her.
He could have literally killed them all in the cell.
Yeah. I guess I don't know. There's a point where he comes back. It seemed implied that he was going to check on them, but they get out before that. I don't know, because he gives them the wrong key for the cell. All this shit. Anyway, yeah. So this is actually a point where Sanji actually does shit, which is kind of cool. First, we learn that Sanji, when he tells Crocodile that the Straw Hats are all dead, we find out that actually kind of plays a big part when he did it earlier on Little Garden. because then Crocodile had no interest in looking for them at all. So like it kind of allowed the Straw Hats to fly under the radar to get to this point in the first place.
Yeah.
And then he saves them. He talks mad shit on the phone to Crocodile. Crocodile runs out to go kick his ass. And we see Sanji beat up all the fucking henchmen.
We don't really see it.
Yeah, well, we see them all laid out. And then, so Chopper pretends to be Mr. Prince, who is Sanji's alter ego or something. And then Sanji goes in and saves them. He beats up the Crocodile or Alligator. My bad, the Banana Gator.
Yeah, what did he say? Like, obedience kick or some? It was some absurd ass name.
Yeah, and he kicks it in the gut, and it spits out a ball, which has Mr. 3 in it. He like wax made a ball to protect himself from getting digested, I guess. Which is science, you know.
And then Sanji's like, "Yo, Mr. 3," he's like, "How'd you know it was me?" He's like, "Your hair."
Yeah, that's like a joke from that they set up in like the first time we see Mr. 3, which is dumb. Anyway, yeah. So he's like, "Yo, fuck you guys," and they're like, "Yo, we'll kick your ass if you don't make a key," because we find out he can make a wax key, and he opens it up, and then and then Luffy and Zoro just kick all the Banana Gators' ass in like 2 seconds. And yeah, and then they get out. So that's what I'm talking about though, because Crocodile does come back to like check on them. So it felt like he was going to make sure they died either way. I don't know, but he could have done it quicker and easier.
100%. Once we see what Crocodile's about, like, fuck.
Yeah, there's no reason for the big theatrics, but whatever. You know how bad guys are.
Yeah, bad guy stuff. For the facts.
And yeah, so I'm sure this pissed you off. So Zoro comes up. They all fall in the water. Zoro comes up with.
Oh, fucking goddamn! This is why I hate him.
Yeah, I'll toss it to you for this part.
So basically, everyone's drowning. Smoker, obviously, Devil Fruit, can't swim. Luffy goes, "Yo, you gotta save him." So fucking basically, Zoro saves him. There's this whole weird standoff. Smoker goes to attack Zoro. He blocks it with a sword like a badass. He's like, "Why did you save me?"
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
And Zoro's like, "Yo, I wouldn't have saved you. But Luffy, he told me to. It's one of his weird things. Don't think anything of it. Basically, like, I would never save you if I had the opportunity not to." So,
Right.
Yeah, but and Smoker's like, basically, even though he just had his life saved by the Straw Hats, he's just like, "Well, go now, because next time we meet, we're meeting as enemies." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, the entire time they've been monologuing, Luffy's been talking about how he's trying to defend Alabasta, beat up Crocodile, and he's doing all these, and then saves his life, and he's still so fucking one-track minded. I cannot stand that. It's like, it's Smoker, right then and there, they had a chance to turn him a little bit, like, but no, he's not even fucking cool. He just sucks.
All of that is totally fair. Yeah, I thought when I was watching it too, I thought that because Smoker goes, "I'll let you get away this time because you saved my life," and it's like that's not a fair trade-off at all because they have you outnumbered, and they are gonna get away. You know what I mean? Like all he did was not chase them.
Yeah, the Marines, like, he didn't even try to stop the Marines or anything. Like, just stood there.
So it didn't seem like a fair trade-off. Like, you saved my life, so I'll let you get away this time. But he didn't have the upper hand there, so it didn't feel fair. Yeah, I totally see what you're saying there. The one-track mindedness of the Marines is frustrating.
It's just like they had a really cool chance. Like, we didn't even have to throw that part in. Like, they could have built up to, like, maybe Smoker bumps into them. He's like, "Hey, pirates aren't supposed to be here," or something. Then they get into, like, another thing. But just for him to straight up be like, "Yo, next time I see you, we're enemies." Like, what the fuck?
Now, I don't think this is the end of this particular part. Because if we jump just to the part where he's basically this block ends basically with another big setup, and we see Smoker and Tashigi, and he's like, "Yo, I gotta go do some shit," and she's like, "Yo, what do I do? Do I go after the Straw Hats or do I protect the king?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's on you." He's like, "But either way, there's a new age." So I think that's like supposed to be some sort of character development because it's not just him being like, get the pirates. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't even know what to do at this point, but I'll trust you.
Well,
So there's
because
like,
he's gonna get his ass kicked.
so there's this. I know, but there's like some sort of.
For
He's not.
someone as strong as him, like he has no luck.
Yeah.
But it just
But
it fucking kills me because it's like there's just no like empathy towards the situation. Like these guys, even though they are pirates, they're fucking helping the entire kingdom. They're fighting for the right reasons. They're fighting the same fight as Smoker.
yeah, and he can't even deny that because he saw it all happen. He saw Crocodile be a bad guy. He saw Crocodile try to kill them. He can't deny that the Straw Hats are the good guys in this situation.
Yeah, and you know, even some of the shit that Luffy was saying was you could see that it was making his way through his brain. Like it was hitting. He understood what was happening. But
Yeah,
just to go straight to like, nope, you guys are still criminals. You got to go to jail. Is so stupid.
I think you actually brought this up the first time we met Smoker. He sees some of Gold Roger in Luffy,
Yes.
which because Smoker never like he was stationed someplace and he was just chilling there, and now he decided to leave to essentially chase Luffy. So yeah, there's something there with Smoker. He just I don't think he wants to believe that Luffy's that, but he also doesn't for yet anyway. I don't know if he ever will, but he doesn't at this point. Anyway, yeah, fuck Smoker. He's kind of a pain in the ass.
I mean, think about it. I mean, it's got to be kind of cool to chase the world's greatest pirate if you think that's a possibility.
That's true too. If you look at it that, if it's his thing to be like the greatest marine essentially catching the next Gold Roger, I guess if he sees him as that would be.
Is
Some-
Luffy's bounty gonna go up after this, or
Yeah, it goes up often. Let's just say that.
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't remember if it goes up after this one. It might.
I feel like it definitely should.
I think, but I can't tell you that for sure. So yeah, so basically, then we just have Luffy going to kick Crocodile's ass.
That's it.
There's a great
That's
line here that I want to find. Oh, so before all that happened, actually, I wanted to talk about this line because it's just.
Oh, I know exactly the line you're gonna talk about.
So Crocodile's like, oh, he says some shit about begging for his life, and Luffy's like, I don't care if I die. He's like, but if I die, who else is gonna kick your ass? And it's just like, it's such an awesome fucking line. I love it.
And he's like, oh, that's a lot of talk for a shrimp or a small fry. He goes, nah, you're the small fry. You just act big. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, shots fired.
Yeah, that interaction was fucking dope. All right,
I
so
was
then
really about this shit. He's really trying to fuck him up.
So yeah, they get on the crab because Chopper and Eyelash meet this. Well, Eyelash and the crab were buddies, I guess.
The crab is cool, but there's a weird logic because like as they're traveling, they're like, we got to cut through here, and they're like, the crab can't go in water, and Usopp is like, it's a crab.
Yeah, Usopp's pissed about that. But yeah, so as they get on the crab, they're going to get away. Crocodile grabs Vivi with his hook, like he just shoots it with sand and grabs her, and Luffy switches places, and then he just yells to them. He's like, "Yo, go on! I'm gonna fuck this dude up."
Yeah.
And they're just basically they're like, "Okay," like Vivi's upset, but the rest of them are like, "Yo, Luffy got this. Like, don't worry about it."
Yo, this fucking fight though.
And yeah, they're very wrong. They're very wrong about it.
I was caught off guard. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so this is the first time we've seen Luffy get into brawls where he gets fucked up, but we've never seen him lose yet. This is the first time we really seen him lose.
I really hate the gum everything.
Yeah, and especially since he pulls out so many stupid fucking moves.
He just doesn't shut the fuck up. I feel like that also gives you like a distinct advantage. Like, okay, he's gonna attack now.
You know what's interesting about it though? So later on, without spoiling too much, he kind of gets a better grasp of his powers. I feel like at this point, he's kind of just pulling moves out of his ass to see what works and what doesn't. It's kind of looking back on it, it's kind of interesting.
Gum Gatling is pretty cool stuff.
that becomes like the main one, I think. But he has that's actually one he hasn't really used all that much yet either. By the way, none of these moves have any effect on Crocodile.
Yeah, no. So Crocodile, we find out, is basically the embodiment of sand because he ate the sand fruit. Another stupid thing is the fact that every fruit has a double name.
Yeah, I think that probably
Dorito fruit. Like, shut the fuck. Like, why can't you just be like, yo, I ate this fruit. Here's my power.
I wonder how that plays in Japanese. If it sounds better in Japanese. It does sound kind of clunky sometimes in English. The sand definitely sounds like gum sounds fine.
Flower.
Yeah, the human is kind of that one's funny to me.
Smoke. Fire.
But yeah, so he eats the sand fruit, and Luffy can't fuck with him at all. Luffy even tries to eat him at some point because he just
that shit was amazing.
He just runs out of ideas, man. He's basically like, I got nothing. He cuts him in half with an axe kick. He fucking punches him to pieces with the Gatling, and he just keeps reforming.
See, now my brain, I was like, all right, maybe he's gonna like think like Hydro Man or something, drink and like ingest water and like just coagulate this motherfucker.
You're on to something.
So anyone that's ever watched Spider-Man knows how this goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a hint to it at the end of this fight. But one thing I want to say before we get to the end of it, I like this. Like, first we see like Crocodile and Robin kind of talk shit to each other, which I thought was cool. It sets up some stuff there. And then he throws down the hourglass, and he's like, "You got 3 minutes to fuck around, and then I gotta get the fuck out of here."
3-minute warning shows up.
And I like the hourglass thing. It was cool. But yeah, so he fucking Luffy's like dicking around. Then Crocodile gets serious and he like cuts the ground in half, and then he makes like a sand pit.
Yeah, like quicksand. Because apparently he can, he knows where there's layers of water underneath the crust, and he can basically use those to draw out quicksand and make these insane. It's just a complete nonsense.
He is incredibly powerful. I mean, he is such a piece of shit too, because he could
he's
literally.
He's pretty bad. I don't think he's as bad as Arlong.
No,
he's pretty bad.
He could literally save this entire nation because he can find water. But that also tells you that he has like a connection to the fucking entire desert, man. Like he's like so. It's insane his power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he makes the quicksand. Luffy gets out of that. I think that's when Luffy tries to eat him, and then
bursts out of his mouth.
And Crocodile makes a sandstorm, and he's like, "Yo, that sandstorm right there is gonna go fuck you, Bob." And Luffy's boys with the fucking, with
the old man.
Yeah, digging for water. So Luffy gets tight.
No, he starts bugging the fuck out. He's like, "You can't do that," and he does it anyway.
Yeah, and then Crocodile just fucking shanks Luffy, man.
Yo, through the chest.
Yeah, it's awesome. That shot where he's like got him up in the air on the hook, and it's like the sun is in the background and it's like red, and you see.
But obviously, but they give away something very vital, like so obviously Luffy's bleeding out or whatever, but then for some reason water drops on him, and when the water drops on him, Luffy's able to grab him like a solid.
The reason that happens is because of the water that the old man gave Luffy that he's wearing around his neck. So that gets
special water.
Yeah, that was like a weird cut for some reason. Like I remember watching that the first time and it being much more clear, but when I watched it this time, it definitely didn't seem as clear. I don't know what happened there, but yeah, so that breaks open. So the water the old man gave him breaks open, and he fucking wets Crocodile. And this is what you're talking about, yeah, just the Spider-Man,
Yeah.
beating Sandman and Hydra,
I mean, I figured that's what was going to happen to begin with because he had the water around his neck before the fight, and no one's going to wear something like that around their neck. So I was like, this is obviously going to come into play.
Well, I thought was cool too. Like Luffy keeps wasting water the whole time they're walking through the desert, and then when he has to like dig for it with the old man, he like realizes how precious it is in this country.
Yeah.
So when the old man gives it to him, he's like, "Nah, fuck this." Like, he won't even give nobody a sip. He won't even. The only time he takes a sip of it is when Crocodile turns his arm into like a fucking mummy arm.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, Crocodile's insane. His powers are crazy.
Like I didn't think he was gonna be able to come back from that somehow, but he drank the water and then gets a fucking jacked ass arm.
It's like some Popeye shit. It's like it's funny. It's dumb, but it's alright. But yeah, Crocodile stabs him. He throws him into the sand, and then we don't see Luffy for a while. That's when we see them try to cross the water with the crab. Yeah, let me see if anything else of note happens at the end there.
Miss Sunday.
Right. So she saves him.
And then the classic fucking anime trope. What are you fighting for?
Well, she drops an interesting line that I still haven't she says she mentions the power of the people with the name D. She's like, why do you guys fight so hard or something like that? People with the name D.
Yeah, I didn't understand what that meant at all.
Yeah, I still don't. The only thing I know is that there are many people with the middle name D in this show, and they're all badass. So, yeah, there's some mystery he sets up pretty early on that still hasn't been revealed where I'm at.
Shit.
Yeah, and then there's so we find out her name is Nico Robin. At some point, they mention that she has been a wanted criminal for like 20 years since she was like a kid. So they set up some interesting stuff with her too, and we don't know why she saves Luffy other than Crocodile's kind of a dick. Yeah, and then there's just like this cool narration about war at the end, where it's like talking about people who want to fight, people who don't want to fight, people who want to stop people from fighting altogether, and they're all converging in this one place. Yeah, it's kind of a cool setup. It was actually a better place to end than where I wanted to end it.
Yeah. Then she just bounces on this weird fucking alligator that can run through the sand at like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, she tells Pell shows up. He's like, "Yo, let's fight again. I know your powers now," but he's all fucked up. And she's like,
Mad
nah.
fucked up.
She's like, "Save Luffy. He saved Vivi. He got her here." She's like, "You owe that to him." And that's pretty much it. I don't think we missed anything of note, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, we covered it pretty good. So what do you think?
I did not like a majority of it. I wasn't really feeling this arc the beginning of this arc, if you would. I just felt like there was too much dialogue, not enough storytelling. All right, how do I explain this? Because, obviously all the dialogue is storytelling, but it was just useless. Like, it was a lot of useless stuff.
Yeah, well, there is a lot, like, not all of it is story. I think you're right. A lot of it is not storytelling. It's kind of dumb jokes that they kind of set up, which I don't mind the humor, and some of it's really funny, but other times it's just the jokes are too long.
Flat.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like the beginning of Alabasta could have, instead of 8 episodes, it could have been like 3 or 2, and it would have been probably flowed a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm liking where this is going now. It god damn, it took a long fucking start. And it was interesting to see Luffy get his ass beat, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that shit threw me too when I saw it the first time. I was like,
I was not expecting it. I thought Luffy was gonna figure out a way to win. Because, he's the hero, but Crocodile's a pretty bad motherfucker.
Especially the brutal way too, man. It's just mad blood.
I was not expecting him to stay, and I know that's like his weakness. Is being stabbed.
Yeah, stabs are his weakness. Yeah, so that shit's cool. I think you're right. The block takes too long, but I think by the end of where we are now, it's set up really cool. And if I remember correctly, basically we're gonna break this down into 2 more episodes of Piece by Piece, guys. And I think the next 2 episodes are just non-stop action, pretty much. So it should be fun.
All right, man. Well, this covers this piece by piece. I don't know. I just had like a fucking stroke.
Yeah. Yeah. So, by the way, guys, I guess so I wrote it down. I guess we're gonna cover 112 to 122 next time. So 10 episodes, much less than we covered here. and then the last. I think the last. I think the last block is like only 8 episodes, and then we'll be done with Alabasta. Yeah, so I guess we're set up with Ken Luffy figure out a way to beat Crocodile. He kind of has an idea now of his weakness, and can they stop this country from being torn apart?
Find out on the next Piece by Piece.
Yeah, that's the end right there.
Dun, 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 dun.
Fuck all the promotion stuff. Nah, I guess we should promote stuff.
Yeah, find us on Instagram at We Get Dubbed. Find us on Twitter at We Get Dubbed, and also visit our website at WeGetDubbed.com with link to our merch. You can buy a T-shirt, some stickers, a cup if you fancy, or maybe even a nice hoodie for your girlfriend.
Word. Stickers for your laptop, all that. I got a mug.
You can trick your girlfriend, buy yourself a hoodie, and then have your girlfriend steal your hoodie and then rock our faces.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. We also are starting to upload the episodes on YouTube, so if that's more your speed, you can check them out there.
Yes, I completely forgot about that. My bad.
And if you do check it out there, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, throw a comment out there.
Go fuck ourselves. I don't know.
Because we've been doing decent on the views, but we haven't gotten any comments or anything. Yeah, just write "Go fuck yourself." I would love that.
I would. Oh my god, that would put such a goddamn smile on my face. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's just funny.
Yeah, so if you're listening to this now, get on YouTube and write "Go fuck yourselves" in the comment section.
Also, one more shameless plug. If you are into Pokemon, we are doing a special Halloween We Get Dubbed little thing, and we're going to be covering Lavender Town.
Yep, all things Lavender Town, the game, the anime, the manga a little bit. We'll talk some urban legends. So
we're going to drop that on Halloween for you guys, and, just keep your eyes open for that if it's something that interests you,
Also, one more piece of housekeeping, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. I did set up a Discord. We haven't gave it to anybody yet, but if you guys are interested, I have a spoiler-free up until where we cover on One Piece Discord. So if you want to come talk about where we've been at, where we're up to, if you disagree with us, agree with us, just want to kind of get your own thoughts out there, that's a cool way to do it. So hit us up on Twitter or Instagram. I'll send you the link.
I think we could probably put the link in our description somewhere.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm just a little worried. I'll do that. All right, fuck it. I didn't want I don't think this would happen, but I don't want it to flood with people and then we get trolls in there and shit.
Who the fuck knows? I mean, now that you said trolls, there's a possibility we get a troll.
Yeah, I don't want people just dropping spoilers all over the place.
That would suck. That would suck.
I suppose I can kick people out, but the damage.
Mac's girl fucking drunkenly spoiled something for me, and it's still devastating to this day.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about this too much on this episode, but that was spoiled for me as well, and it really sucks. But at the same time, I promise you, it won't. It won't fuck.
But anyway,
you much. Yes, she's an asshole. I was pissed when she did it. So this is the part where we ramble at the end because we
don't know how to fucking do an ending. I'm telling you, we had it just now, but
yeah, the housekeeping fucked us up. The housekeeping fucked us up.
If we would have done that after the housekeeping, that would have been smooth. Maybe we could start doing that shit.
Do it again. So we're covering 112 to 122. We have we're gonna figure out if Luffy could beat Crocodile. He learned some weaknesses there, and we're gonna see if Alabasta gets torn apart or not.
On the next episode of Piece by Piece. Now hit that outro.
Nice.
Living room, Maryland, right?
Oh my god. Yo, Jeff.
Yo,
I'm in. I can't listen no more. You said you're in? I'm in this here recording. All right. Finish.